Welcome back to Cure for the Common Game. Today, in deck number 922, we're going to talk about Darien. King Darien, the numbers. Yeah, whatever. But before we get into that, I want to give a shout-out, thank all the patrons, and also give a shout-out to thank Dragon Shield. This deck is in Dragon Shield white matte sleeves. I don't have to tell you that Dragon Shield's the best sleeve makers in the world. Y'all already know it. I'm just here to remind you of that fact. So, without further ado, let's get to King Darien here. Now, he's an Anthem. Your other creatures get +1/+1. Back in the day, 3 mana, that's all you got for it, you know. So, but now we have 5 mana, so this is repeatable. We can do this as many times as we want to. Put a +1/+1 counter on him and create a soldier. So he gets bigger, and there's more knights, I guess. Well, soldiers. Yeah, his realm grows, whatever. You can sacrifice Darien. Tokens you control gain hexproof and indestructible to end of turn. So that way you don't lose your board presence to a untimely board wipe. You can just sacrifice the king and simply replay him from the command zone. Now, we have... This is all about green-white tokens. And his ability, being 5 mana, we can do it as much as we want. To get him bigger, we have a crazy amount of ramp. I'll admit, even for me, it's a little much. So, here we go. We have, I'm going to roll through these pretty quick. Soul Ring, Rampant Growth, Farseek, Cultivate, Search for Tomorrow, Commander's Sphere, Celestia Cluestone, Kodama's Reach, Keeper of Progenitus doubles our mana, you know, because we only have Forest and Plains. Well, we got a few non-basics, but you get the drift there. Mirari's Wake, another Anthem, and it doubles all your lands. Hour of Promise to go get, you know, whatever you want. 2 of them. Harvest Season. Now, this is pretty big deal here. You search for X basic lands, where X is the number of tapped creatures you control. That's not bad. Now, granted, you have to do this, you know, during your second main phase after you've attacked, whatnot. But let's face it, we should have plenty of creatures to spare in that time. We have, this is Renewal. Just go get 3 lands, gain some 7 life. I know it's overcosted at 6 mana, but, or is it? I don't know. 3 Rampant Growth, 7 life to boot. It's only one. Anyway, we want to get past that. We're measuring our mana in increments of 5 so that we can activate. And then we have the Deep Gnome Terramancer. Now, this is just a great card. Whenever 1 or more lands enters the battlefield under opponent's control without being played, so if they Rampant Growth, if they, and I know it's corner case, but that happens a lot. There's no penalty in our format for playing extra lands. Yeah, green just has an advantage that way. You get to get one of your own playing. Now let's look at our card draw, which, I'll be honest with you, yes, I know it's pretty weak. We have 3 dedicated cards here. Of course, good old-fashioned mana for cards that harmonize. Shamanic Revelation's going to draw us. It's probably a one-shot ton of cards, but Hosky is that's the sweet spot. It's indestructible, so it's going to survive their board wipes. And, yeah, he has to attack. Whatever. He's indestructible, you know. But a creature you control deals combat damage to a player, you can draw a card. This could be dangerous. Could be dangerous in this deck, in fact. So, let's get to making some tokens. Let's get to making some creatures. We have, well, number one, we have the best 2 colors for doing that. Before we get too deep in it, though, Divine Visitation is where it's at. If we're doing tokens, if 1 or more creature tokens will enter the battlefield under your control, you get angels instead. Not only do you get angels, you get Sarah Angels, Flying Vigilant 4/4s. So, Yeah. Um, Deploy to the front it is a neat card. Now, Nakata War Pride. This card is insane if you've ever seen it go off. You intentionally want to attack the player with the most creatures, and they come out as 3/3s. Your commander makes them 4/4s. If you got the wake, they're 5/5s. It's silly. I did it in standard with the when a creature comes into play, game +3/+3. It is just instant army. Mobilization, another mana token. Emir Angel. Landfall's pretty good when you got the amount of land search that we've got, right? Bloodspore Thrynax has Devour. We got plenty of things for him to devour, but each other creature you control enters the battlefield with an additional 1/1 counters on it, where X is number 1/1 counters on this. Whoa! That's big army maker right there. Conqueror's Pledge. Yeah, 6 and then 12. Okay. Call of the Coppercoats. Finale of Glory. Now, finales, the whole finale cycle is, they were just like tiered for Brian Campbell. You know what I'm saying? These cards were, because that's living the dream. If X is 10 or more, also, so you get, all right, so if X is 10, I've got 12 mana sunk into this. I get 20 power worth of soldiers and 40 power worth of, I get 60 power for 12 mana. Wow. Yeah. White Sun Zenith. Another one. Zerum of the Golden Wind. Now, this is no of, I know. But the Griffin deck, I don't know if I've shown y'all the Griffin deck yet or not. This is the real deal. This is the Griffin deck commander we've been waiting on. I have that deck. I don't know if I've uploaded it yet or not, but if I haven't, it will be soon, because I love this deck. Second Harvest, we're going to double all them tokens. Now, granted, if you have got doubling season type effects, throw them in here. This is the perfect home for them, because it's tokens and counters and all the good stuff, or doubling season type effects, you know. Entrapment Maneuver. Now, this is a great removal spell, because a lot of times they're only coming at you with that one creature, like that Atarka that's out of the new starter commander deck that everybody's buying, because it is a great deck by itself before any upgrades, and then once you upgrade it, it's insane. There's like 3 of those running around the shop right now. But they sacrifice an attacker, you get tokens. Hey, cool. Court of Grace. I kind of quasi another card draw spell. I love the Monarch mechanic. I love cards that introduce Monarch into the game. Captain of the Watch. Soldiers. So our commander makes soldiers. That's pretty nifty. Stormherd, because why not? And you're thinking Stormherd, you don't have a lot of life gain. I mean, actually, between Soul's Attendant, Soul Warden, we kind of do. But Ant Queen, mana equals token, that right there, 2 mana rates, probably, I mean, that's about as good as it gets. Sand Warden Convergence, I know it's not going to create mass amounts of tokens, but that creatures with flying can't attack you, or planes, creatures with flying can't attack you. I'll take the reverse moat any day. Scatter Seeds probably needs to come. This is probably the 5-drop where I put the, where you would put the doubling season or the primal figure or the whatever it is. Nomad's Assembly. Yeah, it's got rebound. And then, of course, Rise of the Redeemed. A lot of this deck looks just like a Rise of the Redeemed deck. I mean, that's true. Now, things that count creatures. I know there's more out there than this. The Sign of the Wild used to be a rare. Now it's a common. How the Mighty Have Fallen. Oh, I guess it was never mighty, but the Henry Militia Captain, put it in there, even though I despise double face cards. You know, it flips over it counts creatures. And then Shanna Sisay's Legacy. just a great card in general, you know. Removal-wise, we have Sword to Plowshare, Naturalize, Disenchant, Return to Nature, Normal Suite, nothing crazy. Creature-wise, the plan is to just have more and bigger. But let's look at the miss category here, because that's probably the largest category. Here it goes. Thunderfoot Baloth. As long as you control your commander, it and your other creatures get +2/+2 and have trample. Given that many tokens trample, seems good. More mana ramp in the way of Cryptolith Right. We're producing that many creature tokens. Why not make them all mana dorks, right? Gotta have the overrun for that, the amount of dudes that this deck is going to make. Mother of Ruins, it's a great card. I'll be honest with you, it was a last minute include because I found out I had 2 of the same card, and I was like, Mother of Ruins can protect our commander, can protect a lot of stuff, so, you know, may not be in, as they say, the final draft, but Glare of Sebule. Now, Ghazi Glare was a deck way back in original Ravnica, and you made a bunch of tokens, and you tapped down all your opponent's creatures, and you did that until you could out-creature them for the win. And that is still a valid strategy here. Although, I mean, you know, it's a 1% chance, but either way, you draw Glare of Sebule, and they have to remove it. Unbreakable Formation just protects your team. Jaheira is also, your tokens are mana dorks. Regrowth and Fog, just good all-around cards. Inspiring Leader. Our creatures are getting big. Our tokens. Unquestioned Authority. Now, there are very few sentences that grab me quite as much as protection from creatures. That means it can't be blocked. Like ever. And, I mean, it replaces itself. It's not, yeah. Concordant Crossroads. Like the only green mass haste giver. Now, granted, you're giving it to the whole table. It's an enchant world. I wish they would bring that mechanic back a little more. That's, yeah. But if you generate, 100 tokens on your turn, you're going to want to swing with them that turn before somebody board wipes them. And this is how you do it. Majestic Myriarch. It also counts creatures. It should have been in the creature count thing. It's twice the number of those creatures. It's big. It's a big, beefy creature. And then Bess, the Soul Nourisher. Base power 1/1 into the battlefield. She gets a counter. Now, granted, this might not work with the buffs. Here again, another good slot. I'm not 100% sold on Bess in this particular deck. We have too many pumps, you know. But that's going to bring us to our non-basic lands. We're going to get the just mana ones out of the way first with the Blossoming Sands, Terramorphic and Evolving, the Sungrass Prairie, Fortified Village, Selesnya Sanctuary, Thriving Heath, Tranquil Expanse, Botanical Plaza. Now, the V2 Ghazi is there to create an extra token. It's not a priority because 4 mana and tap, so that's 5 lands to do it. But there are many times where you go to untap on your turn and you've got 5 mana left there that you haven't used in late game. Yeah, I know we're supposed to use all of our mana every turn cycle, but that doesn't always happen. So it's good to be able to get an extra 1/1 body for basically nothing at that point. Castle Ardenvale is our last card in the deck. Enters the battlefield, tap to control planes. We're probably going to control the planes, but here again, it makes another token. So, same thing I said about V2 Ghazi applies here. Now, that is it for this deck. I do appreciate y'all watching. Thank y'all so much. Don't forget Dragon Shield. These are Dragon Shield White. I have used a lot, you know, a lot of colors. But that is what we have got for today. I appreciate y'all. Thank y'all so much. But right now, we're going to shuffle and cut.